Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure, or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another show on Miracle Guidance on OMTimes Radio. I'm Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on OMTimes Radio. One of life's great secrets is never stay the same for too long. When your relationship, your career, your income is stagnant for too long, you need to act in order to evolve. Because life is putting you through different phases and forces you to reinvent yourself. Whether you want it or not, sometimes you have to quit a job that is no longer productive. Even if you work there for many years, sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes you have to walk away from a relationship that becomes toxic, even if you love the person. So looking back, you'll find that the changes were necessary. But when you're facing it, in that very moment, the task of transformation can seem scary and challenging, and you don't want to go through the challenge and through the change, because we are creatures of habits. We want to stay in the same place and be in the comfort zone. So I want to guide you tonight through making the most positive improvements that can help you benefit and can work for your progress. So I want you to broaden your potential and welcome the possibilities. So I will talk to you about the 12 steps to reinvent yourself. I will create today some kind of a guide to that personal transformation I'm talking about. And as you know very well, I love to take your calls, and this is a calling show. So feel free to call in 202-570-7057. I have always my wonderful producer, Christopher, helping me to talk to you. So I'm going to go back to a beautiful statement made by Daniel Abraham, who said, an American author, who said, who talked about the fact that we say that flowers return every spring, and he says that this is a lie. It is true that the world is always renewed, but the renewal comes at a price. Even if the flowers grow for an ancient wine, the flowers of spring are themselves new to the world, being untasted and untried. In other words, just like the flowers in this quote, our lives are carefully guided by cycles. The cycle of rebirth, the cycle of death, the cycle of chaos, the cycle of order, the cycle of action and stagnation. Because cycles are a law of life. Everything around us is working in a cycle and tends to repeat itself. The days of the month of the year, the seasons, the nature, and so on. So what goes through a cycle emerges like new. So the flowers entering the cycle of death in the fall aren't the same flowers that blossom in the spring. These flowers are reborn. And I made this analogy of the American author Daniel Abraham saying, this comes true in your personal life. You're supposed to change as you pass through cycles, and in a metaphorical way, one part of you dies as you end up a cycle. So you're supposed to evolve, you're supposed to improve, you're supposed to elevate. you're supposed to be a different person, because we should never stay the same for too long. That's why the topic of today is how to accept, to reinvent yourself, and to be ready to reinvent yourself. And in this way, the first thing that you do, you actually acknowledge the potential that is in you. You are so much more than you can imagine. You have so much more potential than you know. But your negative emotions like fear, your doubts, your trauma, which I spoke last week about, your karma that I spoke many shows about, the karmic imprint, and all kinds of other factors are holding you back. So if you were to eradicate negative emotion and self-inflicted barriers, you should understand how infinite your possibilities really are. And I want you to kind of break through this false limitation. And I want you to go through with me through the 10 principles that will help you build the most authentic version of you. Because this show talks about reinventing and going to that level of authenticity that exists within you, and with that authenticity comes elevating yourself to that potential of the best version of you. Now, I want you to, in life, to speak freely. I want you in life to always ask yourself every single day, what is that you really want out of life? Another golden rule is I don't want you to compare yourself to others, which a lot of people do it instinctively. Subconsciously, you tend to look at someone else who does the same thing like you and tend to compare it. You are unique in your own way. You don't need to compare yourself with anybody else. I want you to engage in your natural abilities that exist within yourself, so dig deeper and bring them to the surface. I want you to listen to the advice that tries from your inner voice, from your subconscious mind, from that intuitive ability of the brain to bridge the two levels of the brain. I want you to express gratitude, because by being grateful, you're in a state of content. You're in a state of acceptance. You're in a state in which you can see beyond your limitation. I want you to go against trends. I am not fond of trends. I want you to create your own trend. And most of all, dismiss distraction and believe in yourself wholeheartedly, because that's the key of everything. Because in this way, you work towards your life purpose. If you believe in you, you find your life purpose. Many of you are calling me and asking me about life purpose. And I always said your life purpose is within you. What represents you the most, what you want to achieve, is the culmination of your work. Because life comes with the unexpected. There are so turning points that hit you hard. But you have to be prepared, and most importantly, you have to see beyond the painful experiences. There are so many painful experiences that we go in a way or another, all of us. So never allow yourself to become stuck in those painful experiences. In order to be confident and not to be afraid of the future. So you have to adjust to the test of time, to adjust to the changes that are happening in the world, and to adapt to your environment constantly. You cannot afford stagnation. Stagnation means going to that cycle of death, And so by breaking through the stagnation, you always create the ability to be reborn. So, as I said, one of the laws of the universe is the law of transformation, and that's the theme of the show today, your willingness to transform. Sometimes new will always come, so don't allow your subconscious blockages to keep you in the past. Many times the universe forces you to create a new you. As I said, whether you want or you don't want to create a new you. So it's okay to create a new life. It's okay to create a more fulfilling career. It's okay to let go an old relationship, find new love. It's okay to create a happier environment. It's all a part of the cycles of life. Whether you say the world forever, you state is something that doesn't exist, forever doesn't exist, because no one can remain in being the same forever. Nothing is forever. Things are for a while, for a cycle, for 2 cycles. Every time you lose something or someone, it's the universe navigating you in a different direction and telling you not to look back. If you lost a job, don't see it as a tragedy, see it as an opportunity. This is your chance to reinvent what you do, to get creative about your skills and prove that you can achieve anything your mind is set to achieve. The more you become stubborn and resist the change and put your will against the universe, the more you won't achieve what you want. So in life, you always have to give in to the flow of the universe. So give in to the flow of the universe. Sometimes it will be in your favor, and something will really change within you, because that's all that challenge is all about. You will have to accept, either way, you have to accept your change and your challenge, and you have to adapt. So many things, people, events come in our life every day, and nothing is without a reason. Out of each of them, you have to take in a bit of you and change it for better, little by little. It's interesting how if you change it step by step, little by little, that change is more powerful. Because every time something bad happens, something negative happens, people ask, where is God? Well, God is within you. He's never the outside. He remains within you. We are the children of God. That was the message from ancient time. We are God because we are children of God. So if we live a life of only good and positive, we couldn't appreciate the good because we won't have the bad to compare to it. So it won't be where I am if life haven't given me a few good kicks in the butt along the way. I mean, I talk about me, myself, because I lived in poverty. I live in Romania. I took care of everybody. I had to draw on every talent God gave me to actually survive, but not even having food. So food on the table many years ago. So I remember driving an old car 2 hours to buy eggs from the people in the countryside and some cheese, because there was nothing, no food in any of those stores. So I remember those. I can never forget. So I went through my own challenges in order, you know what I mean, to survive, and that was I'm blessed for that. So it's okay to suffer when transition from a cycle to another occurs, and it's okay to trust that you'll find the way. And I learned from my father. I actually wrote it in my first book, Everyday Karma. I said something that my father used to say: the star that cries the most shines the most. So in a metaphoric way, you know, somebody who went through their suffering created a miracle of life. But I'm going to take your calls, and I'm going to go to some of my people today, my wonderful people calling me and waiting patiently. And if you guys want to call in 202-570-7057, start dialing now, and Christopher will take your calls. And we will continue to go deeper into the topic today, and I'm going to tell you about the 12 steps to reinvent yourself. And that's going to be an interesting way to learn about life itself, because life isn't about finding you. As you know, life is about creating you. So you have to create yourself. Life is creation. Life is truly your creation. It's like a gift that you can build and shape exactly the way we want. So always maintain that vision of where you're going and how you make it. But it's fantastic that you have all these abilities to navigate through life and make the most of it. But I'm going to go, guess what, where? To Poland. I always love when people all over the globe, and most likely European people who probably instead of sleeping, because I think it's there like 3 a.m., they call me. Hi, Agnes from Poland. How are you, my love?
Hi. Hello, Carmen. Thank you very much for taking my phone.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling me at this time. You know, it's like late over there. Is it 3 a.m.?
Yeah. No. In fact,
Oh,
it's 1 a.m., but
it's
quite
1 a.m.
late. Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
Okay. So not that late. So, okay, 1 a.m. we can still tolerate. Okay. So how can I help you, Agnes? Do you resonate with my topic today of reinventing and transforming through
Yes,
life?
absolutely. That's why I stayed up that late to be able to talk to you and ask you a few questions.
Sure.
So,
I'm here.
yes,
I'm all listening.
thank you. So, in fact, I do feel stuck in life, and I realized that for the last 9 years, I was just trying to reinvent myself and
Right.
working on myself. And in fact, I don't really feel improvement. Because everything what I wanted to create family. I wanted to be in a job that it's meaningful, and I
Mm-hmm.
just it didn't happen so far. And so I just I'm wondering, why it's not happening, and
Okay.
and uh, and I
Let's
have
do
this feeling
something.
of like
Give
a
me
stuck.
just the month
Hmm.
and the day of your birth. I want to see which personal year you are in, just to give, because in life there are cycles of 9 years,
Hmm.
cycle of 12 years for some people, but I want to see
Okay.
which cycle are you in. Just give me the month and the day of your birth, not the year.
So I was born on 24 of November.
November, that's a 2, 24, that's a 6. Now you, so this is very typical, and actually I'm very excited that you're calling. You're about to end the 9 year cycle. So you're in the personal year 9 till November. As we're stepping into November, which is right around the corner, and it's interesting you're calling right now. We're probably not even thinking. But hold on the line because I have like a short break. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back
Hmm.
with you in 1 minute. Okay,
Okay.
I go to a short
I
break.
will
Hold on
stay.
the line.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
Hi, this is New Age Grammy winner Paul Avgerinos. Thanks for listening to OMTimes Radio, and please support my peaceful healing music with a purchase at iTunes, Amazon, or wherever you shop for fine music. Just put my name into the search engine, Paul Avgerinos. A, V like Victor, G like George, E-R-I-N-O-S. You can also visit me at roundskymusic.com. Thanks for listening, and I'm wishing you the brightest of blessings.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Yes, I'm Carmen Harra on OMTime Radio with a wonderful caller, Agnes from Poland. And Agnes, I want to go back to explaining you that you closed doors to the last 9 to 12 years. So if you go back in time, what happened to you 9, 10 years ago? Try to remember if there was any opportunities that you could have experienced then. And then there was another chance that you had 5, 6 years ago. And now, you know, you're stepping into one of the best years you have so far, which starts right around your birthday all the way down to the end of November, pretty much towards the end of 2019. Now, whatever you're going to build in this time will impact your life for the next 10 years. So people don't understand when they enter the beginning of a life cycle, all the opportunities are there, all the doors are opening. So what I'm trying to say is that now the chances are there. You just have to work on yourself and acknowledge, is there something blocking you? Is there some bad memories? Is there something that you're afraid to express yourself? Do you know all your skills? Do you know what is best for you to do, how you can operate better in terms of your potential? Is there something within yourself that you never explore and never identify? Does this make any sense? So my anticipation is based on all the calculation on the Pythagorean concept, on the Kabbalistic interpretation of your time, is that you're about to enter an amazing year right around your birthday, and the resonance of this year you can already feel all the way to the end of 2019. That's the year to find the best job. That's the year to rediscover yourself. That is pretty much the time when you can do the best that you can do for yourself. Does this make sense to you?
Well, it sounds wonderful.
Is there something blocking you? If you think, but I'm afraid of this, or I'm scared of this, so this is what I am bothered by when it comes to me finding my skill. What do you think exists within yourself that is stopping you? You know? Yeah.
Well, like what comes to my mind is that maybe, like deep inside, I feel that maybe I'm not deserving things.
You see, that is a big problem. So you're not honoring yourself. And one of the things that you do, you have to trust yourself. Because everything actually in the outside world, those opportunities, those people coming in, those jobs, are things that you project from the inside out. So the moment that you decide and say every single day, 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, I deserve, I trust, then you bring those opportunities in and you open your mind and your perception towards where are those opportunities. Have you ever thought of working in an independent way? I'm just asking.
Well, it would be great, but I feel that I'm also a little bit scared to kind of go independent. Because again, I think I have this fear that maybe I won't be able to kind of support myself, like leaving the job that brings me security, but at the same time, I just don't feel.
What are your skills, Agnes? What do you think you can do best? What it is within you that you can express yourself better? Like if you say, okay, what do I know about me? I can do this. What is exactly the kind of career you want to embrace?
Well, I was thinking that I would like to work with women that are less advantaged and also to support them in a holistic way.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Remember, you have a 24, which is a 6. So that's the planet of love. So within you, this desire to express love and help people in a loving way, it's there. Number 6 symbolizes people who work very well with other people, work in a medical field, work in empowerment of others. There's no better time than to empower women in the Me Too movement. This is a movement that is all over the globe for people to be empowered. And I think that you will really escalate, exceed your expectation when you're going to work with it. But your fear is just not justified. You should not be afraid. And I think in order for you not to be afraid, you should connect with other people. I see you working independently, but I see you working with organizations, with group of women, joining forces with women that are powerful. I feel joining forces with around 5-6 women. And there's one that has an L name. I also feel you joining forces with people from other parts of the world, because this is a global perspective. You have a global possibility here. I think you will travel. I think your whole life will change. Remember, all the chances are in front of you for the next 12 to 13 months in front of you. Just take them. Don't hesitate and bury that fear that you're not going to be. I remember I came to New York, I had $40 in my wallet. I had no idea what to do with myself. And I was so scared, and I tried to embark on all kinds of jobs as assistant. They were paying so little. I was so miserable. I was not myself. And I decided to do what I knew to do best. And I had no fear. And I will not forget, that was 30 years ago, and I made $10,000 in like 6 weeks. Just like this, because I had the courage. I worked morning and night because I had the courage. That moment I realized I'm going to be able to do it. So, and from there on, I never stopped working this way. 30 years later, I do the same thing. And I continue to trust myself. And I never worked for anybody, Agnes. I've never been employed by anybody by my own self. You know what I mean? So that is all I can say about me. I don't know how it is to work for a company. I had no idea how to be employed by anybody. And this kind of a lifestyle made me gain as much money as I wanted. You know what I mean? I became my own boss. I kind of recommend you. And I also felt like my mission was to connect to people, help people, give them the empowerment they needed, give them guidance, give them wisdom, come up with ideas, with books, with shows that are going to touch the heart in people and make them better. So I think you can do the same thing, probably in a better way, in a different way. So I'm very confident the moment you stop choosing a meager job, choosing fear instead of courage, you will turn the wheel around. There's a bigger reason you call the show. There's a bigger reason we speak. There's a bigger reason in the message that I have for you. So I really want you with all my heart to think, to infiltrate every single word in your brain, in your consciousness, to reprogram the way you think about your own power. You're not going to believe how well you're going to do. I trust you. I'm absolutely convinced that the time is right now for you, that the moment you network, we live in a world where internet allows you to network and connect. I see you connecting. I see you traveling all over the globe. I see you a total different person 2-3 years from now, with an amazing courage, succeeding. I see you speaking in front of audiences. I see you building an idea, a concept. Please work on your ideas. Put them together. You might create an article, a blog, a book. You're young, you're vibrant, you have everything it takes. The time is right in front of you now, so you have to do it. You have to promise me you're going to do it. No fear.
Yeah, yes, I do promise you, but it sounds like wonderful. It's almost like, I cannot.
Well, let's make it happen. Life is wonderful if you wanted to make it wonderful. And life is a struggle if you operate on a low vibration of I'm scared, I'm not connected to my higher power, I'm not connected to a divine world. I am like allowing myself to create that small version of me instead of growing, instead of transforming, instead of evolving. Use those words, and look everywhere where the opportunity will be presented. I want you to call me again as many times as you want. I'm here every Tuesday. And we're not going to stop until you tell me, I met this person, I've seen this, I'm signing this contract. Don't stop. The time is now for you.
Okay. So Carmen, what would be the first step I should take?
The first step they should take is working on you for 2-3 days, like working on yourself and convince yourself that you're not going to let go of your mission, that you have an idea, that you have a concept, that you have to bring it to life, that you meant to do it, and this is amazing. And look around and try to, it's like almost like we talk about prayers, is the way you put your wish into the universe, and then that situation will start happening. People are going to come. Google, go on internet, try to connect to people, and you'll see the people who are meant to help you will come into your life. And I'm here for you. I am really here for you with all my heart. To see you succeeding, there's no greater pleasure that I have to see somebody moving forward, and manifesting their dream into reality. You don't give up on your dreams. Your dream is beautiful. You don't have this chance to start a new life cycle for another 10 years. Don't lose the train that is in front of you. Take that train. You understand? I want this to resonate in your mind. I'm going to take this opportunity. It's going to be in front of me for 1 year. I'm not going to lose it. I'm not going to lose it, and I'm going to transform. It's your own process of transformation. You can't afford to be scared. You can't afford to let yourself down. You can't afford not to trust yourself. Because if you don't trust you, nobody will trust you. If you don't believe that you're an amazing human being, nobody else will believe that. So it starts with your inner work. I want you to work on yourself and do that transformation process that will really make your life totally opposite from the way it is now. I promise you.
Oh, thank you. That was so inspiring, encouraging.
Okay. Well, listen. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. We talk again within a month, within 6 weeks, right around your birthday, November 24th. A week after, call me. I want to be the first one to wish you happy birthday already because it's very soon. And let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Okay. Yes, we have a deal.
Okay, we have a deal. We have a deal, and you have to promise me. And let's see within a month of research where you stand a month from now. Okay? Okay, my love. Thank you so much, and go to sleep because I know it's late. Okay, my Agnes. And if you feel like talking to me, write me. You can write me. You can be my friend on Facebook. You can. You know what I mean? Connect with me by writing me an email. So let's be in touch. I love you, my Agnes. Thank you so much for being part of my show. I believe in you. Oh. Okay, my love.
Thank you.
Okay, sweetheart. God bless you. So, Barbara, what happened to you? You just dropped the phone, Barbara from California. If you want to call back, feel free to call back. I'm here for you. But meanwhile, I want to tell you that I really want you guys who are listening to my show to subscribe to my newsletters, to be part of my family on Facebook, on Instagram, and if you read any of my books, I can give you sessions free. I can give you 50 off. I mean, I'm here to connect to all my listeners. So. In order to connect with me, very easy. You go to carmenharra.com, CarmenAJRRA, and you click on the social media, and you're in touch with me. Because this is the way, that to me is the best gift, to be able to, the connection, I also want you to watch my YouTube video. I have very interesting videos. And I'm working very hard to finish a new book that I know, guys, you're going to like. But my last book is called Karma Queen's Guide to Relationships. So you have problems in relationship, especially if you don't know which relationship you are in. In my book, The Guide to Relationship, I do talk about different types of relationships. So I help you understand which are those types. Is this a relationship that is a compromise? Are you happy in your relationship? Do you feel like you're stuck? So let's talk about it, because relationships are very important. If you're not in a healthy relationship, everything else around you is not going to feel right, and you're not going to operate at your potential. But I'm going to go to something that I put together for the show today. And actually, what I put together are the 12 steps to reinvent yourself. And I took what George Bernard Shaw said: life isn't about finding you, life is about creating yourself. So we're going to talk about the 12 steps to reinvent yourself. And we base this on the idea that life is our creation, is a gift. It's a gift that we can build, we can shape as we please. But as we create, we must maintain a clear vision of what we're making. So, because majority of us, we just take life as it comes. And we are not focusing on anything else, and we get trapped on a daily routine. That's the problem. And then we're not acknowledging the process of transformation. So we're not acknowledging the totality of things that are happening. We're not acknowledging our skills. We're not acknowledging, our own evolution. So that is one reason that made me do the show on this topic. So 12 steps to reinvent yourself, but I think I have to go to a break. So I'll talk about the 12 steps right after the break. And if any of you wants to call in, feel free. I'm here for you.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Hello, I'm Lisa Berry. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for Light on Living. A chance to see new, hear different, and feel more as I shine the spotlight on all the ways to lighten the load of life's challenges. Light on Living is your link to that new way you're looking for, that new understanding that will enhance your life, and that positive connection that will support your growth. So join me, and you'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you.
Hi, this is recording artist and composer Yuval Ran, inviting you to a voyage through the chakras, a new double album of guided meditations to transform your life, a sublime musical medicine for nourishing inner peace and reaching to your higher virtues. Get it now at metamindfulnessmusic.com. METTA mindfulnessmusic.com.
I'm Fidel Nsombo. I was born in a city called the Bukavu in the Congo. We were a loving family, and then, boom, everything that I had disappeared in a single day. People think that when you are a refugee and they resettle you to America and all your problems are done. They don't understand that that's the beginning of everything. I was not born a refugee. I was made one.
It's time we welcome refugee families with open arms. Learn more at embracerefugees.org, brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hello, everybody. I'm back on OMTime Radio with Christopher. And we were talking about the 12 steps to reinvent yourself. And as I said, this is a calling show. You want to talk to me, feel free to dial 202-570-7057. If you feel like you need to reinvent yourself, if you feel you resonate with the topic, because as I said, majority of us take life as it comes, and we just deal with the routine on a daily basis, and after years and years we feel we're in the same boat and nothing is happening, nothing magic is happening, and we start to feel stuck. And we're not focusing into the future. We're not, because we don't want to go there. We're like so afraid of looking into envisioning something for tomorrow. We just say, let me deal with the situation right now. But to my understanding, expanding our vision allows us to see the totality of things. Like let me give you an example. Like, it's like you cook a meal. Before you begin, you have to have an understanding of what kind of a meal is that going to be, so like you understand the final results. So you know what you're making. You know what ingredients to add. You know the order you need to put there. You know how long it takes you to make that food. So if you cook without knowing the steps, it will be a horrible meal. So similarly, I gave you like some kind of a example that, you know, it's even funny, but similar, if you try to create the life you want without knowing the steps to take, you leave short of your dreams. Now, I'm going to go by saying that the word vision comes from the Latin visionem, meaning wisdom. So having a vision is having the wisdom to see past certain events and expectation of a final outcome. So our vision, what it does, it expands once we learn how to use our three eyes, the two eyes which we see the physical world, and one third eye that projects far beyond now. Now the Indian people cover their third eye. So you see an Indian person, you always see that there's a sign between eyes. The reason they do this because they don't want anybody to read, deep inside their selves. So our mind is an eye as an omnipotent tool. So the two eyes see the new house you're thinking to buy, but your mind's eyes see a home for many years, the possibility of growing a family, and the chance for a great investment. So expanding your vision is the most important step to reinvent yourself. So when I said I give you the 12 step, that's the first step. You create a vision. You can't reinvent yourself if you don't have a vision. So how can you create a vision or a version of you so you know where you're going and you follow that step by step? You have a plan. It's exactly when you write a book, you have a skeleton of the book. And you build and add and add and add, exactly like you build a house. You build a foundation and slowly you build a house. So that's exactly comes true in a metaphorical way when we're talking about building your own self from the ground. So you create a version of you, and you want to create the biggest version of you. So you want to create the most beautiful home, the most updated, not just some kind of a small tiny house when you don't feel you have enough living space. So we have the tendency to place ourselves within boundaries that define who we can and cannot be. So this is psychologically speaking, our mentality contains a handful of beliefs. Like each day we think, we speak, and we act within those beliefs. The way, we can never go beyond your belief. That was a big statement that I always made all my life, based on the French philosopher Descartes, 300 years ago, saying, what you think you become. And then those words were translated in so many years by philosophers through centuries. But as I said, psychologically speaking, our mentality contains certain beliefs. and the way of thinking makes us settle for the sort of a lowest level of our potential. So my show today wants to make you think about expanding and start thinking outside your beliefs and creating goals from a picture of what the biggest version of you will look like. Like when I close my eyes, I used to close my eyes all the time, and I see myself doing this and this and this. Even in times of all those things that I saw were totally impossible. I came from Romania, I didn't speak the language, and I said I'm going to write books in English. And I'm writing my 8th book. Why? Because I had a vision in my mind of myself doing it. And I work very hard, because you can't just have a vision without working on it. So I want you to create a detailed picture of what the biggest version of you will be and how you would like to be. So choose down 3 elements of your life that you want to reinvent. Like saying, I'm a nurse now, but I want to become a doctor. Underneath element, write down how you will expand yourself to achieve becoming a doctor. So you in life, one of the elements that I'm talking about when it comes to reinventing is reevaluate what's true for you. I want you to do that self-reflection that is very critical in establishing a strong relationship with yourself. Reevaluate why you believe the things you do. It is because they come from your heart, or is it because of other people? How many of your beliefs were imposed to you? Very important. Think a million times how many of your beliefs. Go research deep in your beliefs, write them down and think, are they coming from you? Are they coming from outside forces? Were they imposed to you? When were they imposed to you? Another element of reinventing is plan a strategy and a timeline. A strategy sets up the action you will take to advance towards a goal, but if your vision is to own your home, for instance, your strategy should include how to earn the money to buy the home. So you have to be realistic about achieving, about timing, and considering all factors that could work for or against you. So keeping a timeline keeps you on track with your intention. Another element of the 12 elements of reinventing yourself is work with your emotions, because if you don't check on your emotions, then you cannot go where you want, because your vision is fogged up with emotions that are involved. So we simply can't see the outcome. When you hit a wall of traffic, you become stuck and you can't see up the road to what's causing the jam. So your vision is blocked. And this is the same thing that happens when your own emotion create a wall in your mind's eye. It keeps you from anticipating what's to come. But learning to control those feelings can help you detach long enough to see the truth of what awaits for you. So I just want you to understand the mechanism in which your mind works. So very, very important. And you know what? You can't achieve anything if you don't take the first step. So you have to put your intention to use. Your first step may be the leap of faith. Exactly what I explained. If somebody came into America at $40 and taking a leap of faith because I couldn't find any job, so I ended up by working for myself and becoming Carmen Harra because I had no other choice. But it is with the first step that you prove your own abilities to yourself. So I started working what I knew to do best, counseling people. I went back to school. I believe in myself, and I will always remember my late husband asking me, who do you think is going to buy your book, Carmen? You are just a woman coming from Transylvania, Romania. Who do you think will pay attention to you? And I said, I will prove to you that my book, my first book, will be published and will become a bestseller and will be in New York Times. And fair enough, my book, Everyday Karma, was translated in 20 languages and was in New York Times. So I made that happen. But it took me years and was not easy. But I want to inspire you by giving you the story And I want you to learn the way you take that first step. Also, you know, it's very important to envision your outcome along the way. So you have to keep an eye on the prize. So you don't have to allow yourself to become distracted or derailed from your goals, which happens all the time. You have a goal, you feel like, oh my God, it's so hard, I can't. So without realizing you giving up. So you have to continue to strive for your ideals to turn reality. Because you have to know in your heart that you deserve those. And this is key. I've seen people working very hard to achieve something, and at some point after a year or two, they tend to give up, they get tired, they don't see it anymore. But you have to see the bigger reason behind these setbacks. So wisdom in itself means having a higher understanding of why certain things are happening. That's wisdom. Always remind yourself that there's a greater purpose behind all the things. So whatever's happening to you, it's happening to make you advance, not to get backward. Even the most difficult moment, even all those challenges in which you see that things are not moving your way, is actually a test. And you know it's okay to ask for help, because there's a divine order in this universe that we call the higher power, the universal power, that wants you to succeed. And you will be guided. That's why you call the universe, you call it God. And God is not a person. God is the divine perfection of this world we are living in. So it's okay to ask, and it's okay to pray. And it's okay to do rituals of prayers. And that's why rituals happen in like 9 days, 9 months, so everything happens associated with the element of 7, number of God, with 9, that is the number of completion, or 12. So these are the major numbers that you associate with playing rituals or asking for guidance. So you have to ask for help. And I promise you, you will receive more help than you can imagine. It's fascinating to see how you will meet people along the way, because everybody comes in our life with a purpose. Even people who play a negative role should only serve to reassure you of your own strength. You never give up. Simply having a vision does not fulfill it. You materialize your vision. You materialize your dream. You don't give up on your dream. You don't die with the dream within your heart. You don't allow that to happen. You will experience bumps, as I said, and people will try to keep you away from succeeding, but you can't allow yourself to be intimidated. Remember that you are on a mission to achieve something incredible. And it takes a lot for you to be stopped, like nobody can stop you. This is pretty much the mindset that you need to have. You need to have that mindset, and this is the way you end up by celebrating your achievement. So your journey must include time of reflection. So compare where you were years ago, let's say 5 years ago, where you are now, and congratulate yourself for your achievement. Big achievement, small achievement, but achievement. So don't forget to reward yourself for the hard work. And not only the hard work, but the careful planning and the diligence and the resilience. And it's pretty remarkable how in time, when you look back, you see your transformation, your progress, and that is absolutely magic. I want you in life, and then I think I'm gonna end the 12 steps by saying, remember not to repeat the old mistakes, because you have to learn from your mistakes, and don't put yourself through a situation that you know will attract a similar outcome. This is also psychologically speaking, the human nature. We tend to repeat over and over the same mistakes. And this is where the law of the universe calls the law of karma, the number one law of spirituality, is so powerful because it makes us learn from our mistakes and makes us realize that we are tempted to repeat them, because that's the way karma means, repetition. So learning, what does learning do? Leads to personal evolution. Evolving to take new actions that lead to new results. You can't get results with the same action. You cannot see a transformation acting the same way. You have to change. If you see something doesn't work in your life, it means somewhere in the way you think, in the way you act, you created repetition of an old mistake, or the whole way of thinking, the whole way of expressing yourself. So you break those patterns. So breaking patterns of behavior means breaking old mistakes and creating a new reality. And I'm Carmen Harra. Thank you for listening on tonight's episode on Miracle Guidance. And if you enjoyed tonight's show, if you have questions, feel free to contact me at Carmen Harra @AOL. And I'll see you next week, same day, same place, same time. And I hope you will become the best version of yourself. And thank you so much, and be blessed.